Well, I'm coming at you after a long time. I know I've had the students do their video newsletter once a month, and I figured it was time to give a perspective and an update from my side. In MSS, we're doing our This I Believe essays. They are an essay from 400 to 500 words. It speaks about either a belief, a story, an event, or even a value in their life that they see as important at this time. Take a listen and see what they've done.
I believe in the power of gratefulness, and I wrote about that because it's tied to a very important memory to me, and I believe it's a great lesson for everyone to learn.
I wrote about self-confidence because you need self-confidence for many things. Like, if you don't take risks, then you will never be better, and you can't take risks without self-confidence.
Okay, so I'm writing about close family friends because I think it's important to have close family friends. So
I'm writing about forgiveness. I heard about it as a topic in my church, and I thought it would be a good thing to write about, kind of expand on it.
I'm writing about kindness because I don't think that there's enough kindness in the world.
I am writing about the importance of telling the truth.
I wrote about my trip to Summit last year because it was the best experience I've ever experienced.
So I believe in like honesty and knowledge and like a bunch of things like confidence and creativity, because like you can know a bunch of things with that. So
Okay, I'm writing about trust, and I believe in trust because if nobody had no one to trust, then the world would just be lost and nobody would feel good ever.
I'm writing about brothers because I have one, and he's always there for me whenever I'm down or something like that, and he teaches me important things that I never knew about.
I'm writing about change because I believe it's important to know that there's always going to be positive impacts on change, even though there can be some negative ones.
Okay, I believe in freedom exploration because freedom is the greatest thing anyone could ever have, and if you're free to explore, you can do anything and become what you want to be. You don't.
I wrote about confidence because, like, if nobody had confidence, then nothing would ever get done in the world.
What I'm writing about is honesty and responsibility.
Okay, I'm writing about diversity because I feel like there's not enough diversity on the media, in neighborhoods and schools, and there's just a lot of groups that are kind of in different places, and I think it would be a better world if everyone got to know each other a bit more.
We just had our test in Chapter 12, Density, Buoyancy, Average Density. So much content, pretty cool, labs were fun, and students did very well, which is always neat. We always have a little reflection at the end. What did you learn? Something cool, and what was challenging? Take a look at these.
So I learned that if you put a low density object in a high density fluid, it will float. And I think the displacement method is really cool because it's really easy too. And what was challenging was probably the density lab because a lot of people didn't know how to do it. So.
Hi, for my chapter Summary and Flipgrid, what did I learn? Well, I learned about density and buoyancy and how it affects things in real life. It was really cool because I feel like density, it applies to everything in our life, and I think that's just really cool to learn. What was challenging, though, was I gotta say some of the labs we didn't have enough time, and some of them we had way too much time. But I'd say it was a really good chapter.
Okay, so what I learned was I learned the buoyancy and the density. So the buoyancy floats up, and I learned about that. And what was cool was all of the cool experiments, and all of the labs were really cool. But what was challenging was the labs. They were kind of challenging and all that stuff, so it was pretty hard. But bye.
I learned that ductility is able to bend without breaking. What was cool is when we did the labs, when we put different kinds of liquids in, and we saw if them went down to the bottom or stayed up top or went into it. And what was challenging was probably like learning the difference between density and buoyancy, like and how like the mass gets packed together. And
I learned about buoyancy in this chapter. One thing that was cool was making boats out of aluminum foil, and one thing that was challenging was finding something interesting to do while still finding all the information in the video density project.
I learned about Bernoulli's principle. Something that was cool was how Archimedes found out the displacement method. Something that was challenging was remembering the difference between Bernoulli and Archimedes.
One thing that I learned this unit was Archimedes' principle. I thought it was really interesting. One cool thing we did was the density lab where we poured different liquids into a graduated cylinder and they were separated depending on their density. And one challenging thing was a lab where we had to make a boat out of tinfoil and see how much weight it could hold.
We had Google come in and we had some AR. AR is augmented reality, where you take the background, kind of like Pokemon Go, where the background of the setting you're in, and cool items are inserted in a learning fashion. Take a look at this. The bad stuff.
Hey, look at the pickle. All right, this next one is the Steve. Okay. 5 here. Whoa! Where did it go? Right there. No, oh, right there, right there. Fish. Whoa! There's the steps. I put the spotlight on it. Can you guys see the spotlight on the steps? No. They said I'm not supposed to go on my bad boy.
In Flex, we made our classroom into a makerspace using straws, paper clips, and a little bit of tape. We are creating a replica of Southview in structure form, in skeleton structure. We're in day 1, you can see them behind me. Day 2 and maybe day 3 will be next week. The students made really good progress. Wednesday, May 16th, is our STEM Link field trip to Century College in White Bear Lake. It's really a cool event. This is the 3rd year that we've done this. All the students will go, and they will have various STEM created with 3M and along with Century College, STEM related exercises, experiments, and activities. There's information that was sent out. We'll send it out again. Students all will need a bag lunch. They all need to wear closed-toed shoes, no open-toed shoes, otherwise you won't be able to do the experiments. And finally, we're still in need of some volunteers, so if it works in your schedule and you're willing to join us, send me an email and I will send you a form, and after you fill out the form you'll get all the information. It should be a really exciting day.